In the first scene of Windbreaker, a boy is walking on a tightrope inside his mind as traumatic memories invade his nightmare when he was rejected for being who he was at school, for not having anyone to take care of him, or for his strange appearance. His eyes and hair disgusted society, and this isolation led the young man to the darkest depths of his suffering. When he finally wakes up, he feels anger as a consequence of this isolation. In the commercial district of Tanpu, children played joyfully on the streets on a pleasant morning, while the rejected young man philosophizes alone that he only cares about the strongest and never the weak. In a quiet street, a group of cowards surrounds a girl, threatening to smash the eggs she bought into the leader's face if they don't leave soon, but she won't do it because it's a waste of food. The leader of the bullies mocks the fact that she likes strong girls, while grabbing the girl's wrists as she tries to leave. Meanwhile, the rejected young man reflects that guys who are weak but think they're strong are the most despicable, and soon encounters a bunch of such guys and asks them to stop bothering the girl. The tallest boy doesn't like the intrusion and tries to punch him, but the young man with strange eyes shows the disgust he feels for bullies of that kind and finishes off a whole gang in the blink of an eye. Not satisfied with the beating, he grabs the leader by the collar and tells him never to forget his name, then says he's Haruka Sakura from Furin High School, the one the weak should avoid and the strong should seek out. With the problem solved, Sakura walks away as if nothing had happened. Then the girl who was saved goes after him and thanks him for the help. Strangely, Sakura takes a few seconds to realize she's talking to him, then loses his temper and says that saving her wasn't his intention, showing his lack of social skills. Confused, the girl asks if he's hungry. He refuses. However, in the next scene, he ends up being taken to the diner where the girl works, and getting to know the boy a bit more, she finds out he's from out of town and remarks it's rare to see people moving to this city. Until recently, this place had a reputation for constant gang fights and organized crime, so it wasn't exactly a destination people wanted to move to. In fact, she herself, who introduces herself as Tachibana Kotoha, wasn't born in this city. During this conversation, Sakura wonders why this girl is being so friendly with him, since he's used to being feared by others, especially after beating up 5 guys in front of her. Seeing that the guy was lost in thought, Kotoha suggests she try the omurice, and upon tasting the dish, it was love at first bite, even though Sakura was disappointed to find out they don't deliver food home. Lowering the guard of the irritated boy, she brings up his appearance, asking if he wears colored contacts or dyes his hair. Sakura immediately frowns, but Kotoha shamelessly examines his strange marble-like eye up close. Sakura backs off from the advance and challenges the girl to a fight because people always make fun of his appearance. However, Kotoha likes Sakura's look and recalls with a hand gesture that she once saw a boy with very different hair. Sakura emphasizes that appearance doesn't matter in a fight, which is why he joined Furin, where the weakest and most powerful reside, with daily faction wars that uphold the law of the jungle. Whether it's Christmas or International Peace Day, it's all-out brawl at Furin, and that's where Sakura intends to reach the top. Kotoha comments that the guy is talking tough, but he corrects her by saying it's quite the opposite, a bunch of degenerates in an endless battle to crown the worst of the worst. The girl admits the young man is dedicated and must be eager to start studying since he's already in uniform, even though classes don't start until tomorrow. Sakura is outraged by the blessed girl's pathetic understanding of Furin High School's real nature, so he asks her to settle things outside. However, the friendly Mr. Yama interrupts the boy's tantrum and thanks Kotoha for the meal as he heads for the exit, and Sakura has the decency to hand over a package the old man had forgotten. As a reward, the old man left some sweets for the young man because that bag was a gift for his grandson. But Sakura's traumas prevent him from understanding why someone would be kind to a strange kid wearing a delinquent uniform. Just to show you the suffering he goes through, once Sakura took a wallet from a guy's pocket to teach him to be more careful, he was unfairly accused of theft. For these and other reasons, Kotoha believes Sakura made the right choice in choosing Furin, but she's sure he'll never reach the top, and she still thinks he has to forget about it or no one there will take him seriously. After all, the boy is alone in this war. When they touch on the wound of his loneliness, a trigger is activated in Sakura's mind and he starts to seethe with anger, but Kotoha makes it clear before he leaves that he will understand what she's talking about when he meets the members of Furin. On the street of the Amagusa beverage shop, a gang is wreaking havoc everywhere, and the owners of the establishment try to call someone to solve the problem, until Sakura shows up and notices that the insolent guy who got beat up earlier brought some more friends to play on the street. Sakura tries to ignore the gang and cross, but the leader reminds him he hasn't forgotten the name Haruka Sakura, though the Furin newbie forgot his. As they notice the aspect of the boy's hair and eye, all the bullies join forces to tease him in the way that shaped his life up to this point, with him always being rejected and denied by everyone around him. Faced with relentless scorn, Sakura gave up on being accepted but made up his mind to find some value in himself. So while the gang leader reminds him that the earlier incident wouldn't go unpunished, Sakura punches him square in the nose, even though he was always sure it was other people who wanted to stay away from him. After all, in Sakura's mind, his appearance is bizarre, but still, he never understood what he did to deserve so much repulsion. During this reflection, he lays the smackdown on the entire gang without mercy, consumed by the fury that courses through his veins due to the insults suffered, wondering what the heck being at the top has to do with being alone, especially because there's only room for one at the top, and that one needs to be himself, Hakura Sakura. Devastating his enemies one by one, some of the remaining wrongdoers start to run, while Kotoha, innocently washing dishes, ends up leaving the diner to see what was happening and is taken hostage by the gang. The gangster who grabbed the girl remembers that the Furin never do anything when a rival takes a resident hostage, but Sakura is outraged by the fact that the man brought a knife to the party, so he takes him down without hesitation. He advises the gang to reconsider their choices regarding the type of weapon they use to fight, so the rest of them go after him. There are many opponents at once, and Sakura knows that protecting Kotoha amidst this chaos could go south, but he doesn't know why he's protecting her since he gains nothing from it. Moreover, one of the opponents picks up the knife from the ground and cuts the protagonist's ankle, leaving him increasingly cornered by the enemy's strength until a gangster prepares to hit the boy with his baseball bat. However, just in time, a Furin member thanks the first-year rookie for his help and asks Kotoha not to tell you-know-who that she was in danger. Then this man knocks down the enemy with a bat and asks the gang not to stir up this kind of trouble in the city, while 3 more Furin members approach the commotion. The Furin who had just arrived for the brawl are frustrated by the lack of people in the opposing gang, while the enemies notice that the one in front of them is Hiraji, a feared fighter from the Furin. Still, they feel they can gain the upper hand, so they go after their opponents. The Furin leader, Hiraji, instructs Matsumoto with his mohawk, Kaji with his headphones, and Yanaji with his military-style haircut to beat up the enemy gang. In the midst of the brawl, Sakura is about to be hit by one of the opponents and can't react because of his injured ankle, but Hiraji prevents the worst and tells the rookie to run if he's not going to fight. Sakura gets annoyed and says that was his opponent, but Hiraji makes it clear that he won't be able to protect anyone standing in the crossfire. At this point, the surrounding residents gather at the windows and balconies of the buildings, cheering enthusiastically as if they were in the Colosseum of ancient Rome. Sakura doesn't understand what's happening, so Kotoha remembers, as she mentioned earlier, that this city really was a sewer of gangs and organized hooligans, but something changed that reality, and that something was Furin High School. Upon their arrival, the first thing they did was put up a sign at the city entrance, warning that those who harm others, destroy things, or have malice in their hearts will be destroyed by the Bafurin. Initially, they carried the name of Furin High School, but over time, the residents renamed the group to honor these defenders of the city, the Bafurin known as Windbreakers. In light of this, Kotoha finds Sakura's view of them amusing, thinking they were a bunch of violent crazies, but acknowledges that they were known as such until 2 years ago. But now they are loved and even necessary because the city's public safety is truly garbage. With this reality check, Sakura sees with his own eyes that these guys, even fighting in the streets like this and having this appearance, are loved by the people, not rejected. At this moment, some residents approach to praise the boy too because they saw how he handled himself alone at the beginning of the brawl. That elderly lady worries about providing first aid to his injured ankle, and Sakura threatens to freak out again in the face of all this sudden acceptance, until Kotoha takes over the bandaging and reminds him that Sakura is indeed alone, but not because of his fault or intention. Therefore, she emphasizes that the people of the city need people like him. Sakura replies that he doesn't need anyone, but the girl questions why he returned Mr. Yama's gift or even protected her during the whole fight. The truth is that Sakura hasn't given up on others yet, and he doesn't need to. But to demonstrate the truth in this feeling, Kotoha asks the boy to lift his head and look into the eyes of the people around, because only then can he become what he desires so much. Finally, Sakura accepts the sermon, albeit in his violent way, and affirms that even he is capable of being a delinquent who plays superhero and walks around as if he were the city's shield. That he delivers another kick to the leader of the opponent's face while wondering if there he can finally establish some genuine connection, and thus begins the story of a useless, worthless, and hated boy who will become the hero of this city. Hey folks, for kicking off the new anime season, and if you enjoyed this anime and want to see more of it, go ahead and hit that like button down below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We need your support to reach our goal of 70,000 subscribers. Every subscription counts and helps us grow our community. Catch you next time.